In this lesson, we're going to subtract two fractions with unlike denominators, and we're going to use the prime factorization method. So if we have a problem like this that says subtract 2/3 minus 1/7. So the first step is to use a common denominator to add or subtract fractions. So the denominator needs to be common or the same. We have to find a denominator that's the same for both fractions. The least common denominator is the smallest whole number that is a multiple of both denominators. So we can find the prime factors of 3 and 7. And prime factors just means decomposing a number down to the point where it's made up of numbers that are only multiples of themselves or 1. So for example, the number 3 is only divisible by 1 or 3 or itself. 7 is the same. You can only divide 7 by 1 or 7. That's it. You can't further decompose it. So actually, the prime factors of 3 is 3 and the prime factor of 7 is 7. So now all we have to do is we multiply the prime factors together to find the common denominator. So the common denominator is just the multiplication of the two prime factors. There's only two in this case. So 3 times 7, it equals 21. So now we have to find equivalent fractions with 21 as the denominator for both of these fractions. So let's use 2/3 first. We need to find an equivalent fraction with 21 in the denominator. So what do you do to 3 to make it 21? Well, you multiply it by 7, right? 7 times 3 is 21. But what you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So if you're going to multiply this by 7, you have to multiply this by 7. And that's how you find the equivalent fraction. So 7 times 2 is 14. 2/3 is the same as 14 over 21. Now let's do the same thing for 1 over 7, this fraction. So our common denominator is 21. What do we have to do to 7 to make it equal 21? Well, we multiply it by 3. So what we do to the denominator, we do to the numerator. So if we multiply the bottom by 3, we multiply the top by 3. So this is going to become 3 over 21. So the equivalent fraction to 1 over 7 is 3 over 21. Now we can add the equivalent fractions and simplify if we need to. Okay, so let's start with what we started off with, 2/3 minus 1/7. Okay, now we just put in our equivalent fractions for each. So 2/3 is the same as 14 over 21. 1 over 7 is the same as 3 over 21. Now we can just subtract the numerators and keep the denominator the same. So 14 minus 3 is 11 over 21. And that's the answer. And don't worry if you don't understand that right away. You could just rewatch the video as well. I have other videos in the description that are similar to this and go into more detail on each of these concepts. So make sure to check those out as well. You could download the ebook. In the ebook, I have this exact lesson in it. You could follow along in the ebook as you watch the video. There's a link there that'll take you right to this video. Thank you very much for listening, and please make sure to like and subscribe.